such an asshole.
All right, we got a unique and somewhat complex situation, and I can't help them 100%. I can only provide a little bit of information and advice and assess the situation. And here's how I logically see it. In part because he's in one part of the world, which is a third world country he's in. I'm not going to mention which one, keep him anonymous. And he's over on the other hemisphere, not the cool hemisphere. He's on the sucky hemisphere with Europeans and what else? And see, now I can pick on Europeans. I can't pick on anyone else. You know, the Asians and the Russians and the Scandinavians and the African. He's on that where all the land is. They're not on the cool, hip, what are we, Western hemisphere? Anyway, so he's looking at Europe, Russia, places like that, first world over there in that hemisphere from his not first world Eastern hemisphere. And I don't know anything about Europe that much. But I do know economics. And I do know the internet has made it that certain types of labor are global. And so we're going to go through this, kind of take it bit by bit, and then see if we can't help this guy out. Hello, could you please send me a quote for this YouTube video? I'm sure that some people will be, oh, by the way, I'd only charge him $20 because $20 is like 3 weeks salary over there for these guys. So, let's see. Here's the short version. I love it if someone says, yeah, I could use him to do some work on the internet. And this guy who's in a pretty poor country is also deriving a first world income. That's the primary goal we could do. I'm sure that some people will be interested in this because I didn't see a video that deals with this situation. Long story short, I live in a third world country in a place. The average wage is $80 a month. All right, so I charge him a week's worth of wages. Have you used this degree that I chose on purpose because it was easy, biochemistry? Okay. Biochemistry isn't easy. And there's another thing about this guy when I was reading through it. This guy is really smart. He's a polyglot. He's taught himself 5 different languages. His English is obviously very good. And biochemistry is not an easy degree, buddy. Like sociology is an easy degree. Languages are easy degrees. Women's studies is an easy degree. Biochemistry, that's legit STEM. Problem with biochemistry, and you'd run into this in the first world too, not terribly employable. Because you'd have to go get a doctorate or advanced degree, and maybe you teach, but become an actual scientist. So if you got the chops or the brains for that, you could do engineering or something more practical. I got scratchy back. All right, there we go. I ended up ranking first in each of my classes in hopes to get a student visa and go abroad, but everything was destroyed because of the disease. There are many other parameters, but I won't send them here to keep this short. Also, may I have the military discount if it's a foreign one? Yep, of course, conscription, but we still fight terrorists, so we're the good guys. Yeah, you could be. God almighty. I'm half tempted to give the Taliban a discount because it's like, yeah, technically you were in the military and you won. And whereas that was short and sweet, I need more information. I say, I know it'll be expensive since I am in a socialist state, but I need some real counseling on what to do. So far, I came up with a few different ways that could help me. Some of them worked, not so long-term options, sadly. The others I haven't tried, but will require a huge investment from me to get it. And as mentioned in the previous email, I have many parameters that work against me. Bias, SJW screwing with you because you're the wrong minority. You're the wrong minority in your country? Because if you're from North Africa and you like apply in Europe, they can't wait. So, I could be wrong. Here in the United States, if you're from India or anywhere not Europe, you get an advantage. I don't know. Maybe apply to the United States. We'll get to more details. But I found ways to use this to my advantage to gain an edge over my international competition, except that's just a facade and won't work in the real life. Could you please let me know if you'd be able to do it for $20? Sure. I really don't want to mean to insult you on that price, and it's okay if you can't. No, well, dude, I had a guy in Iran, and they were under what's it called? Sanctions, and he didn't have a lot of money, so I tried to help him out best I could. They're manipulating your exchange rate. It says, okay. I look at it, and I said, okay, give me the details. Give me the details. You are of Eastern Hemisphere, not European descent. Passport very weak. I don't know what that means. Like it doesn't allow you to travel different places. Background, bachelor's degree in biochemistry. You're a young man. You're 21. Jobs in my country. We're a post-socialist resource-based economy. Again, I want to keep you anonymous. Why can't you just move abroad? Because I have a very weak passport. I'm not allowed to visit any country without applying for a visa that only grants me a week. So I must either get a student visa or week visa to go somewhere else. The student visa, it sucks because it's expensive tuition. I have to live the subject. I have to study the subject. I'm sorry. I have to study the subject, waste of time. Otherwise, I wouldn't get my visa renewed. Learn the language in which the subject will be taught is rarely English. Hang on. Learn the language in which the subject will be taught. Oh, well, why don't you go to Britain then? Or, you know, I understand now you've learned several languages. Your English is very good, by the way. So, I mean, shoot, I didn't even think about moving to the United States to get a student visa here. Why are you just focused on Europe? Because it's convenient. It's nearby, relatively speaking. Work visa. It is almost impossible to get because I am a worthless POS. You know that. Come on, man. You're already cultured like an American or at least a Westerner. With no valuable degree, weak nationality, if there's an opening that is willing to take foreigners, I will get smoked by hordes of Indians with 10,000 plus years of experience. 10,000 plus years. Why they live long over in India. How am I making money now? Why it's unsustainable? I'm currently working as a freelancer doing some script writing for websites. This is okay, good. It's making me mad amounts of money, but it's more than zero. I face a lot of trouble when it comes to finding gigs and jobs because of my nationality. There is a common belief that U.S. or Westerns in general are better than foreigners. For example, if you have person A/B with the same skill portfolio, A is from the United States, B is from Pakistan. Who would you choose to work with you? Well, you're not wrong about that. But the problem is, it's when you get crappy code and there's a reputation. Found a way to get around this by hiring 8. Now here's where he's smart. Hang on, listen to this. Listen to this. I found a way to get around this by hiring a British actor to read my script. Which, wait a minute. So you're script writing. So you're doing screenwriting, you mean? Like you actually write, not I thought when you said script, like code, like, you know, script, JavaScript. But you're talking like actual, like literature. All right, I found a way to get around this by hiring a British actor to read my script, which increased my exposure, but people tend to click away when they see from X. I can't hide this with a VPN, so I'm a little bit after. I disagree. Now, look, if your country throttles or doesn't allow, like North Korea, but I don't think it's like that. God darn it. You look, man, let's say it is this many hurdles for you to make all this money on the internet. Like it's hard to get a visa. Yeah, okay, it's that hard. I guess you got to try a little bit harder. But you are having some success. You are making money screenwriting. I guess we would call it just writing. Let's just call it writing. But you're smart enough then to hire a British actor. But now you're starting to sound like an American, a lazy American complaining about why you can't do these things. Instead of saying, "Whoa, dude, I got a little bit of money on the internet." And these are not small sites. And people say, you know, they see you're from whatever country, so you're a little bit F there too. No, I totally disagree. The West is okay. I know the media or maybe your government saying, "Ooh, Westerners, all Europeans and Americans, all racist." No, we're not. We're really not. All right. It's just a group of people like to bitch and whine and complain and use traits they're born with to get more government money. That's it. That's the shtick. All right. And you'll notice so don't necessarily believe the media, but to further my point and not to let it dishearten you, it's like, oh, they're going to discriminate against me. Okay, now you've just destroyed all your chances. It's like, there's a cute girl. Well, she'll probably say no. Well, now you've destroyed all your chances. And the same thing here. It's like, you're oppressed if you're a woman. Oh, you have a disability. Oh, you have this type of preference for sexuality. Oh, I'm oppressed because people don't. No, that's all media. That's all politics. And there's other things you could do content creation wise. I would say computer programming. No one like looks at a code and says, oh, that was programmed by a Latino. Does it work or not? Oh, that's JavaScript. That's C+. That's C#. That's COBOL if you want to get old school. So don't give it. You can't afford excuses is what I'm saying. All right. You got the brains, you got the language skills, you got the hustle. Don't come up with excuses. You can't. And you got nothing else to do. You might as well keep trying at this. And here's another thing. I'll get to this a little bit more detail, but dude, if this happened 40 years ago, you'd be hosed. You have the internet now. You can start pulling first world, or maybe not first world income, but income from the first world where people are, they don't think twice about paying like Fiverr. You might want to look into getting into Fiverr. All right. I don't know if you'd have to get what the tax ID requirements are or get a subscribe star or something. But here in the United States, you get the Fiverr for $5, blah, blah. Now, $5 ain't a lot in the United States because the cost of living are higher. But $5 is probably get you something really good over. I mean, that's probably, your groceries for a month, I'd imagine, or a couple weeks anyway. And that's just doing, graphic design. Any content or service or product that is digital, be it artwork or something like that. I'm about to hire a guy to do a pinup for me, a pinup, old school classic pinup. I'll pay him. So if you can get some kind of skill that is digital, your income, now maybe you're stuck. Maybe you can't do anything but travel, travel a week here, travel a week there because your passport is bad. All right, fine. But that doesn't mean you can't derive income from first world nations and effectively earn about a first world income. But you have to have the skills that are in demand and can be sold on the internet. And you're making money writing? No one makes money here in the United States writing. Every kid's like, I'm going to be a writer and a singer and a musician, and they're all just poor. You're actually doing it. And then you're savvy enough to get a British guy to read that's not dumb, man. That's not dumb at all. So I would not be disheartened. Oh, you can't hide it with a VPN or you're from that country. No one here cares. Or at least none of the dicks do. Oh, sure, you're going to have some dicks. I don't trust somebody from India or Pakistan or whatever. All right. But who cares? Like if you could draw real good, you got good graphic abilities, you program code, no one's going to care. Well, I'm currently learning data science or analytics through Coursera, which includes some programming, analysis, machine learning, and other stuff. I'm also planning on spending $400, which is a lot of money, to get their yearly subscription and get unlimited amounts of certificates. I know they are worthless, but I can use them to hide my bachelor's degree and add to it a portfolio. My goals, what my goals are. Hang on. I'm wondering. I'm not against you doing Coursera or edX or anything like that. I think MIT has some free classes too. Free. I'm just trying to see. They're all ads. The University of People. Tuition-free, accredited online. Right here. University of the People. University of the People, U of People, is the education revolution. It is the first nonprofit American-accredited, tuition-free online university dedicated to accessing open access to higher education globally. Let's see what your programs are. Prepare university admissions. English proficiency. Well, you'll pass that. Accreditation. Let me double check. DEAC, the Distance Education Accrediting Commission, is listed in the U.S. Department as a recognized accrediting. Okay, double check all this. All right, so far so good. Here we go. Academic programs. Okay. I here, computer science. Their website doesn't work. You can get a bachelor's degree in computer science right here. This is it, buddy. This is it. You go to school here, the University of the People. All right. uopeople.edu. You sign up for their bachelor's degree, computer science. You can take it online. You get yourself a degree in computer science. It's an American degree, which I think carries some cachet. And you'll learn some skills, of course, along the way as well. I think you can even get, oh no, it's just a bachelor's degree. Heck, some of your credits might transfer. I mean, this is the silver bullet right here. And I'm not saying don't take your Coursera's and all that, but look, if you could put on your resume, American college degree, even if it was free, computer science, and then you get like accredited in some, like you test and you get some certifications in, C# or whatever, Ruby or other programming languages that are in demand. It might take some years of hard work. But dude, the way you're picking up language, we haven't gotten to how many languages you speak. The way you pick up languages, you probably have a penchant for computer code too, because all it is a language anyway. I think this would be it, man. I tell you, see, if it was 30 years ago, you wouldn't have had it. It would have just been another advertisement that when I was a kid, help out the poor, starving children of Japan or Africa or China or wherever they are. There'd be flies flying around. Not now. Here's your way out. This is how you do it. And then if you get a bachelor's, well, you can even, okay, so you start with the associate. They got an associate's degree. So you get your associate, you start working. I got to promote this over Western Governors University. So I don't know. $400 is a lot of money. You're currently learning that I'm also planning on spending. Hold off on that. $400, you could use that. All right. Use that for food, clothing, and shelter. But if you want to get some college, and then right off the bat, you could put this on your resume. I'm in college at an American university getting my degree in computer science. Then you have yourself a skill. Then you also have an accreditation. And it might be a year or two, probably more like 3 or 4, because you have to learn this whole thing. But in, a fraction of the time you've been alive, you could start maybe applying for jobs within your own country, certainly. But maybe you get employed over in Europe. Maybe you get employed over in the United States. Or you could just start doing work, contract work, projects on the internet. And you don't need to get your degree for that as long as you start getting the skills. But I think that's the way to go. Now, you could also, just search free accredited online degree, and hopefully you'll find something like maybe more data analytics, maybe like programming model. You're still going to have to learn to code. But I think that's the way to go. I think that'd be probably the best thing. Yet at the same time, you're already making money on the internet. Keep doing that. The degree is one thing. That's the long-term goal. That doesn't mean, well, if an opportunity comes up, you don't do it. I'm just trying to give you some skills that would allow you to, and who knows? What if you did social media? What if you had the accent? You would be foreign and exotic to people not from your country, and people might tune in globally. In other words, you got to stop thinking about like, oh, it's my country, and then maybe I make it to Europe. No. You're in the world, and you don't have to go anywhere physically. Now, if you're a hot chick with tits, you could just flash your boobies on the interwebs and be OnlyFans. You make lots of money. Or enough to live in, but you are not a cute girl with big tits. So unfortunately, being like all men, you're going to have to work. But yeah, just be thankful you were born when you were. And and hide your bachelor's degree? You're bad. Dude, do you know what the average person in the United States gets for a bachelor's degree? Like jerk off studies. They study their own language, English, teaching, education. The degrees we offer here are so worthless. Philosophy, sociology, justice studies. They're jokes. Biochemistry is it's a serious degree, maybe not a totally employable one, but people are not going to look down upon that. So I would list that as well. I'd put that on your resume. What are my goals? I have to leave my country for at least 4 to 5 years to avoid conscription, 1 year in the army or 1 year in jail that year if I try to evade it. Well, what's wrong with going into the military? I mean, you're currently at war with anyone? I don't think so. So I thought about shitty. It's TTY, not DDY. He spelled shitty. Countries where I can go cheaply. Russia came on the top of the list because I could sign up for some BSI language course visa for a year and basically keep doing that forever. Rents are cheap since I won't go to big cities and food prices are decent. All in all, $230 a month, including rent. For those interested, it is Rostov next to Ukraine. All right. They also have nukes free from war, lots of gas, cheap utility prices, water safety, and global warming benefits, North Pole melting, new shipping routes, land, etc. The opportunity going to Russia will cost me anywhere between 11 to 16,000. Would you be able to work there? I don't know. Maybe do that. Maybe. But I would try to make your money on the internet. I would also continue doing what you're doing, learning online skills. I was going to recommend maybe study accounting. You could become an accountant. I think you could take the CPA exam to be a US CPA through Guam. Me and Chad were talking about quick ways to get the CPA. But I think since you have a penchant for languages and you're already in computer language school and courses, I think stick with that. Stay there for plus actually have to study, waste time, especially if I can't recycle the language program to stay another 4 years, excluding this. Yeah, okay. So your solution to avoiding conscription for 1 year is a 4-year process of going to Russia. I'm all for going to Russia. Nothing wrong with it. But man, I just do your 1 year. Be done with it. I mean, I can't imagine you're going to be always in the military. Like the military's got you occupied all the time. Wouldn't you have a little bit of time to study? Don't they teach you 1 or 2 things in the military too, aside from like how to shoot and clean a rifle? I'm sure there must be something. You're just not a soldier. Getting an MBA in big data, although I'm 100% confident that it is entirely useless, that I won't learn anything. It has the virtue of being offered online by either a German or British university. 2 universities offer the same thing, basically. I want to do it so I can cosplay as a German student or something. No, your MBA, okay, you are totally underselling your abilities right now. You got to take an IQ test online. Maybe it's not you don't have to take it in English because it's not your native language, but you are trying to figure out, you're trying to figure out the West culturally so that you could get in. And what I'm telling you is all this bullshit with MBAs and you get this university degree and that university. No, that's all changing. There are people graduating here in the United States that got MBAs. They can't find jobs. And you're going to waste your time and what money you do spend on it, whether it's at a British university or German university, and they're facing the same thing. It is skills that matter more than anything else, even more than your degree, which is why I'm saying if you start developing skills and you can start making money on the internet, either through Fiverr or some kind of contractor website, anywhere, even if you do content creation, that should come first before your education, right? Like, it's a bit of an extreme example, but it makes no sense for me to go get my MBA. I got to be the next step in my education to get an MBA. But why would I get my MBA? I make money doing asshole consulting, among other things. But it's all on the internet. So it's not the propaganda. Don't try to figure out how to get in to Germany or the United Kingdom or anything like that. Come up with skills that everyone demands and foreign employers will pay for. I think you're already doing that. And if you can get an entrepreneurial streak and make money through whatever social media, go ahead and do that too. but you get the rest of society to work for you. And the quickest way that I can see right now is that U of People, where you get a free online degree, take your courses, all that, and then you put that on your resume. That might help you. That might help you get a visa. But you shouldn't even be thinking about, well, I'll get a visa. No, like make the money on the internet. And I don't know, do you like your country? Do you like where you live? If you don't, yeah, then inevitably you're going to have to get a visa. But for the here and now, let's just let one step at a time, get an income from the first world while living in third world cost of living. And then, okay, now you're making good money. You're not starving. Things are stable. Now you can think about, okay, now I'm going to get a visa here. I'll get a passport there. And that would allow me to stay more than a week over in Europe. Cost of tuition, $5,000 to $6,000 that's years of no. I just showed you a place for free. Rent, so I can stay at home. It's impossible to rent where I am. People don't rent to single dudes if you're getting prosecuted. Army, I have to go to the Army for a year, 1 year without learning anything freelancing. I don't want to stay here anyways. There's a pro to it though. I can open a business after completing my military service and compete against local businesses, which are absolutely rewarded by coping Western brands. Well, what, right? If you want to go and compete against local businesses, I don't know why would you compete? I think you should just like offer computer programming services, web design, whatever tickles your fancy in the realm of computer science, or in your case, data analytics. The Indian, Pakistani, Bangladeshi curse. This is my biggest issue so far. These guys are 10,000 years ahead of us. I didn't know they all lived that long in anything programming related. So if there's an open position for a job that is willing to take foreigners, I'll get smoked by. No. You're thinking defeat again, man. You just guaranteed it's not going to work. And they're trying to apply to get into the United States, or there's an American company or European company going to their home country and setting up a programming campus or whatever. You got to start thinking, just get a skill. All right. Get the American degree, put it on your resume, and sure, apply for jobs. But I would you see it right here. Free. The same goes with freelancing. They will legit build you an entire website, do your taxes, build you an app, translate everything for just $5. And there are thousands of them offering the same damn thing. Are they good quality though? And here's another thing. Have you considered charisma? Like, dude, your story is charming and entertaining in itself. You're from a poor third world country. You reach out to some idiot in the United States called Asshole Consulting. You learn English very well. You're smart enough to hire a British guy to do your reading for you. And you're already starting to study online. Forget the Indians and the Pakistanis and the Bangladesh. Who cares? Some of them might actually be your friends. Go study. And if you're worried about it, become a better programmer than them. I mean, Americans face the same thing here. You know, Chinese are good programmers too. Oh, the Chinese and the Bangladeshis and the Indians, they're all better programmers. Oh, yeah, because you haven't studied programming. Go learn to program. Go learn to code. Also, if the Indian guy that is teaching me and millions of Indians who know this stuff, data science analysts, better than I do, can't find a job to resort to scamming, how the F am I going to compete against them? I like how, see, you know how to curse too. You compete against them by being better. That's, you study more, you work harder, you work smarter, you're more clever. I mean, heck, you could open up a website or just a YouTube thing, like, you know, a third world guy in a first world digital world or something like that. And you could just chronicle your adventures. Although I don't know, probably the military or your country probably wouldn't like that too much. It's your logic approaching wherever, Bangladeshi, Indians, Chinese, doesn't matter. The fact that there are other people competing for the job, that is so defeatist. That's like me saying, well, there are other men and they're chasing after girls, so why should I bother chasing after girls? Well, go to the gym, make some money, do something. Get those skills, then go after the girls. Because right now you're guaranteed to fail if you don't try because of defeatism. So, all right. So my questions are: A, should I move to Russia with a student visa and do some freelancing, which won't be able to cover the bills in the long term? No. Should I learn data analytics or data science or analytics via Coursera? From what I've found, it is an in-demand field, but the whole nationality thing that will hit me 10 times harder because this is a sensitive position. That's if you're working in the country and you need a visa. If you just offer your services on the internet and look for contracts, there's got to be a website. Someone down below, help this guy out. Where do American, European people go to find contract work for either coding, computer science type work, analytics, modeling? Where do they go? It will hit me 10 times harder because this is a sensitive position. Fine, it hits you 10 times harder. I guess you work 10 times harder or 11 times harder. C, should I join the army? Oh, knowing that we might go to war soon, I will cost me a year. But yes, just do it. Get some discipline. Should I get the MBA? No. An MBA is worthless. Worthless. If you were in my shoes, what would you do? All right. I'd go take that course at U of People. Get myself an associate's in computer science. I'd finish off your courses at Coursera, though, just to get the knowledge. What else? And I would always I would almost spend as much time as you do studying your courses, going online and trying to find websites and work that I could do online. I'd also try to develop some kind of skill immediately where I could start contracting over the internet and start deriving some income, hopefully from a first world source. Third thing I would do, in addition to the school and trying to find some work on the internet, I would try your hand at some kind of social media or a YouTube channel. Don't worry about your accent. Don't worry about what country you're from. Just do it. All right. And I don't know what it would be about. It could be like if you like fishing, you go to fishing in Bangladesh, even though you're not from Bangladesh. Fishing in Sri Lanka, whatever. Just give your hand at it and see if there's a creative aspect of some kind of project you want to work on social media wise. I would do it. Not forever. Try for like a couple months, see if it works, see if that leads to something, because there's a fair amount of money to be made entertaining people on the internet. You just do a podcast. Maybe you don't want to show your face. Try a podcast. Heck, you could do a podcast in 5 different languages. But yeah, that's what I would do. That's what I would do. Where was it that you learned 5 languages? How'd you learn English? Why'd you learn it so well? Oh, that's right. Here's another option. All right. Let's say you don't want to take that free course to learn computer science. You may be interested in taking Seth Hymes, SETHHYME, a digital marketing course. All right. You got to take it seriously. You got to do it right. It's affordable. It's still pricey for your standards, but it's affordable. But take a look at that. Look him up. Let him know I sent you. He's had a lot of success taking predominantly poor people here in the United States, teaching them how to do digital marketing. It's not exciting. Well, some people like it, but it's a job and you're going to have to work at it and it's hard. But if you do it, he's got a lot of success stories. Look him up. That's another option for you to consider. Curiosity. Okay. Here's the story. English is my 5th language. I wouldn't say that I'm good at it. you write use paragraphs and punctuation. You're doing fine. Especially the speaking aspect, which I could practice for free by playing online games, which I hate. I was able to join US-UK Discord servers and talk to natives. Hey, you could do what Jack Napier does. Just tune into a bunch of podcasts. Just watch a bunch of us idiots on the internet. Learning isn't a big issue for me, from physics to programming to stats. In just 3 hours, I was able to create terrible sentences in Russian and read without understanding any text with an 70% accuracy. This also makes it hard for me to communicate with people because they tend to be slow. Yeah, man, you can't let this brain go to waste. Seth Hymes digital marketing course. I tried learning digital marketing, web development, but over 30,000 people are offering the same service as freelancers and way more offering it on all platforms. Yeah, but that's why you would take Seth's class. He's got ins, man. He something to consider. Just take a look at it. Send him an email. He'll tell you about it. Let him know I sent you. I was forced to learn a lot about branding, customer psychology, marketing, cold calling, email, and many more, because an Australian client needed it. You had to add a part to the previous thing. I tried at an online language school. Oh, you tried an online language school. Okay, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. This is why. Okay, so you want to do an online. This is not a bad first step. Maybe give this a shot. This is what I'm talking about if you wanted to do something online, social media, or YouTube-wise. Question is whether people want to take it. I have to do a service-oriented business because imports imply waiting over 30 days for shipping and paying over 49% tax, and people simply can't afford it. Yeah, you don't want to be dicking around with the product. Same thing happened to my school. People couldn't afford it due to the huge difference in currencies between ours and our teachers' currencies. Teachers have the same. Countries you can't go to. Okay, sorry, I forgot to add to your last email. I can't go to Poland or Hungary even if I could. I shouldn't because Islamophobia is very serious over there. Well, okay, minus there's a terrorism thing going on. I mean, you kind of understand maybe a little bit. I mean, I know in the rest of the world, not all the Muslims out there are terrorists. We get that. But, you know, there were truck bombs and trucks of peace, right? Western Europe is also dead for me because my savings will be wiped out in 1 to 2 months. Meaning if I go to a country in which I don't speak the language, I'm F, not to mention the fact that small business. Here's another one. Add this to your list. Boy, have you thought about applying to the U.S. military and going into intelligence or language, being a translator? I mean, you got a penchant for the U.S. English language, and you being presumably Muslim, or at least in a Muslim country, there might be some people interested in your skill set. You know, just something to throw in there, maybe worth researching further. The ones that used to offer jobs got destroyed by the disease, and lots of people got fired, or are now flooding the remaining small businesses. So I must choose a country with a weak currency so that I can earn in dollars and spend in their currency, which will make life cheaper for me. I just don't know which field I should focus on. A field that would be very done online nationally doesn't merit, which is very rare, but I'll do my best way to counter it. Doesn't matter which one. I can learn anything as long as I see some green at the end. It's going to be your computer programming, computer related, or digital marketing. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. All right. So here's what I'm going to ask everyone, any in the comments section, or anyway, for the client, your job is to come back to me in about 2 years with some skills. All right. Because if you got some skills, then I could go ahead and market them, and we could find some people that are looking for contract work over the internet. Not that you fly out here and work in an office, but you know, we got somewhat of a larger reach, but you got to come up to it with some skills. All right. Biochemistry really doesn't help anybody. Some kind of digital skill that will help. All right. And once you got that, contact me and we'll see if we can't find some people over here, at least in the United States or in my digital internet world. In the meantime, yeah, you got some studying to do. I would do your military service. Just be done with that. Don't F around. And then anyone else who's got recommendations for the guy, especially in the world of IT, computer science, like what he should be studying this year, because that changes every year, what kind of field he should be going into. And then especially this would very much help him as well as other people. Where do you go to find contract work in the world of programming, IT, whatever else? I think that would be it. All right. Hey, remember when I donated all this money to the Jack Napier and Rerb show? And he comes in there, look at me, being all generous, being all charitable, entertaining your not super chat. All right, that's it. No super chats. All right, see you guys later. Toodles.